Hey guys, well, I just got out of Halloween Ends. Well, I'll say this. It's not the disaster Halloween Kills was, but there's a big problem. And it's honestly what I suspected. This Corey Cunningham character takes up a very large chunk of this movie. And he starts out actually very likable. But then he goes in a very wrong direction, and it frankly made his character pointless. And it's a waste of a lot of this movie. A lot. Laurie and Allison are actually really good in this movie, though Allison, I questioned something about her character, which I can't get into right now because that'd be a spoiler. But I thought overall their dialogue and their acting was actually really good for the most part. There's some cringy things with them, but it's not too bad. Frank is wasted. Hawkins, he's not used very much, but there is some nice scenes with him. Okay. Michael Myers is basically guest starring in this movie. He's really not part of the plot till mostly towards the end. And it is a problem, not to mention, this movie's Halloween vibes are actually very lacking. Honestly, this movie felt more like a Scream film than a freaking Halloween film. Laurie and Michael's final battle, I'm going to say this. It's tense, there's emotion in it, but it's very brief. Like, this really happens quick. Like, this is definitely not the build-up that's been promised. Honestly, I don't think this movie struck the landing at all. Now, do I think it's better than Kills? Probably, for certain reasons. Like, I'd say this movie's better paced. The characters don't drive me nuts, but at the same time, the dialogue with some characters is cringy, and a lot of these characters are connected to Corey Cunningham, so like, you do get some nice moments with Laurie and Allison, and you even get some decent moments with Lindsay, though I wish she was in it more. And like I said, Hawkins, even though I think he's mostly wasted, you get a few decent moments with him. This really is not a Halloween film for the most part. It's like, honestly, I think this movie was designed to give them a way to continue on Halloween without Michael. And my guess is once Blumhouse realized they were not going to be allowed to make another Halloween film, they basically changed the ending a bit. Because I heard there's 3 different endings for this movie, and yes, this movie does have a conclusion. But again, this Corey Cunningham character, a waste of time. Anyway, I can't tell you guys if you're going to like this movie or not. This is definitely a divisive film. Like, honestly, I liked it more than I thought I would, but at the same time, as a concluding chapter to this trilogy, this was not the right story. It just wasn't. It might have been, like, if this Corey Cunningham character would have gone through the arc I thought he was going to go through, it might have actually been a good character, and it might have actually worked for the finale, but it just doesn't. And again, Halloween is not very present in this. Like, some of the things you get from the trailers are not even in here, and a lot of the actual Halloween vibe is very brief. Like, I would say this feels more like this feels more like a psychological film mixed with Scream and less with Halloween. I don't hate this movie. I might even watch it again. But it's definitely not the worthy conclusion to this very messy trilogy. Now, I wouldn't say this trilogy is a wash, but at the same time, this movie almost feels like a reboot. Like, they rebooted their own trilogy because they realized something wasn't working. So, yeah, and honestly, I think every Halloween fan that wanted a Halloween film, you're probably going to be mad. Like, honestly, I knew what was going to happen. Like, I've known a lot of leaks and spoilers for a while, so I went in with no expectations. Maybe that helped for me, and again, I don't think this is a very good Halloween film. I think it's just an interesting thriller, but the third act where Michael and Laurie had their battle, that honestly felt like the weakest part of the movie. It's like, it's just there. And that's not what it should have been. Anyway, I think Halloween Ends is a very mixed bag movie. It's a mess in terms of the ideas. But again, I don't think it's a bad movie itself, but not a very good Halloween film. Anyway, that's my thoughts for now. I will talk to you guys later, and let me know what you think about the movie. See ya.